With me on the CompTIA Academy Partner Update. My name is Alan Rowland. I'm the Education Manager for the United States with CompTIA. I've been in that role for about 9 years. How many of the schools represented here are actually CompTIA partners currently or in the E2C program? Just a couple? Okay, let's change that by the end of the session because I want to tell you about the partnership program, which we've renamed in 2011 from the CompTIA Education and Careers Program. It's now called the CompTIA Academy. The E2C name and that particular status went away on December 31st. So if you were an E2C member and you didn't renew yet, you're currently in an expired status. What I'm going to do today is give you a little bit of information about the renewal process, the Academy benefits, but I'm mostly going to talk about some of the updates going on with CompTIA to our certification tests, some of the new tests that we have that are going to be released in 2012, and answer any questions you may have. Sound good? Good. Thank you for that enthusiastic roar of approval. So, a lot of times people don't really know what CompTIA is. We are a not-for-profit industry association, so we're to the technology industry what the American Medical Association is to the health profession, except a lot better. We represent companies that make or resell hardware and software products all around the world. We also started a few years ago, about 10 years ago, representing educators and educational institutions. So that's what my role is with the organization. I want to tell you a little bit about the Academy. I'm going to go through these slides fairly quickly because you'll all have the ability to download these. And our marketing department likes to put a lot of detail on slides. It's too small to read sometimes. So I'm going to give you the 1,000-foot overview and let you look at this later on when you have a chance to spend more time with the presentation. Who can participate? In the Academy program, we have three different sections three different types of memberships. And the first one is academic institutions, and that makes up well over 90% of our current almost 1,000 members that we have. Academic institutions are those types of organizations like high schools and post-secondary schools that actually offer degrees or diplomas to their students. Now, we know that many schools offer workforce development type programs, and those are included too as long as they're part of a bona fide educational institution that's offering degrees or diplomas. What we don't include are what we call training centers, companies that simply do certificate programs in a particular technology specialty like a Microsoft certificate or a Cisco certificate, but they're not recognized by the appropriate state authority. We also include not-for-profit organizations. We have Goodwill Industries. We have a lot of Urban League organizations that offer training classes to their constituents. And we also include some government-sponsored educational programs. In particular, one of our main clients there is the Department of Labor's Job Corps, which offers a school-like program and many technology specialties around the country, about 104 different locations. Now, the thing I wanted to highlight on this slide is we've already talked about the qualifications, but we did something in March when we rolled out the Academy program that was pretty significant. We removed the cost to enter. It used to be we charged community colleges $890 a year to be a member. That fee is no longer in place, so if you paid that in 2011, you'll never have to pay that again. Well, never say never, right? But we don't plan to charge because we simply wanted to remove the barrier to entry to schools. We know that a lot of times our main contacts at a school are instructors who don't have a lot of fiscal authority, so we simply removed that. Now, at the same time we removed the entry fee, we also slightly altered our benefit structure so that for a no-fee membership, you can join, you can buy the vouchers, you can use any of our free benefits like use of our logos, download our research data from our website, and so on. But some of the other benefits we call part of our extended benefits program. Those are unlocked once you buy $500 worth of exam vouchers per year or more. So $500 actually comes out to about 6 or 7 A-plus vouchers. If you're buying Network Plus, like I know a lot of you are, it's only 4 Network Plus vouchers a year. Once you buy that many vouchers, all these other benefits, such as a classroom banner, which I meant to bring one, but it didn't arrive when I did, so I don't have it. complimentary instructor vouchers for not only you, the member that signed up, but any other faculty members on your staff that are teaching courses that map to CompTIA certifications. What we don't do with our complimentary vouchers, we're not providing exams for your technical staff, but we want to give it to faculty members who are actually training to certifications. We've also got this year something new. We've got some e-learning programs from our various academic publishing partners that will allow you to brush up your skills, or if you're someone who is a new entrant to teaching a certification class, maybe you can go through and get yourself certified by using some e-learning, an A+, or a Network Plus, or a Security Plus course provided by some of our partners like Element K and a few others. Any questions on just the membership program and some of the benefits so far? All right. Here's some of the things that you'll find on our website. Once you become a member, you get access to a members-only, or what we call, I'll have to change my nomenclature, a partners-only website. And you'll find a lot of different types of information there that you can download and use in your classroom. We provide some pathway documents that show how our certifications link together. We've introduced some new, we will be introducing some new certifications this year that will expand on the document you see there in the center of that screen. Again, I realize this is too small to read right here. You're going to do what do you get there, a 200-millimeter lens? Is that helping? Okay, there you go. Well, we'll call this guy if you want to read this. Some of the other things we offer, this is a nice handout that we have. It's like 8 or 10 pages. It's called Get Into IT. It's a nice brochure that you can use if you're talking to people about becoming part of your program, because, probably when many of you got into IT education, the jobs that were available were with IT companies. Now the jobs in IT that are available, or ICT, are with every company. And we have this map, and this brochure talks about this quite a bit. This shows the digital world. It shows all the different areas where technology and information and communications technologies are used. And it helps really get people thinking that, gosh, I might want to be a musician and use some of the information technology tools that are available there. I might want to be someone who works for the press. I might want to be someone who's a videographer or something like that, I can use information communications technology there. So I might want to be an eBay merchant and run my life that way. So there's all kinds of different jobs available, and that's one of the things that I know when I was teaching in the community college in Indiana, people were very limited in what they thought IT meant and what kind of a job they might end up with. Again, these next couple of pages, I won't dwell on them very long, but this just shows a list of our current existing certifications, gives you a brief description of those exams. For those of you who aren't really familiar with CompTIA, our exams are vendor neutral. Being a not-for-profit association, we don't have a hardware or a software product to sell. We don't make or resell software or hardware products at all. So we're simply trying to build on skills and knowledge in a general, non-product specific way in these areas. A+ is our computer maintenance and diagnostic certification. Network Plus, Project Plus is our IT project management certification. It's used by quite a few community colleges these days. Many of you have taught our Linux program before. CTT is one of the CompTIA certifications that I hold. It's when I got into the community college, I came from a training background in another company, and I didn't have, at that time, I didn't have a teaching degree. So the Certified Technical Trainer is something that you may find useful to some of your adjunct professors who are coming in. They've got a great background in subject matter. They've got a great background in industry, but they're not quite familiar with some good teaching methods. Certified Technical Trainer helps you assess those skills. Again, some pathway documents. I don't want to spend a lot of time with these. As you see, just briefly, a lot of our things are used in, a lot of our tests are used in programs from other vendor-specific companies. So you see Oracle, Microsoft uses some of our certifications as prerequisites or electives, IBM, Cisco, several other vendor-specific companies that have certification programs are familiar with and partner with CompTIA on a regular basis. Now, any questions about the program? Yes, sir. Do we need a microphone or anything for this gentleman?
Most of your certifications are non-skill-based testing. Then is basically multiple choice question of the exam. So are you changing those to skill-based testing as well?
Yes, I'll talk about that as we go through the next couple of slides. Yeah, the question was, are our tests multiple choice exams, or do they include skill-based components? And as I said, I'll address that as we move forward. Something that's happened in the last couple of years is we've decided to get several of our exams certified through the International Standards Organization. So we've gone through a fairly lengthy process. We started off with A+ and Network Plus. We've since expanded that to our Security Plus and our new exam that came out in 2011 called CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner. Those 4 exams, in fact, CASP just got approved last month. Those 4 exams are now ISO certified, and one of the things that happened during the ISO certification process that many of you are familiar with is that as of last December, all of our these 4 certifications stopped being a certified for life status. We had a lot of people that seemed concerned about that, but once we made some justifications and explained why we did it, I think a lot of people were satisfied. But as all of us in this room know, technology changes so rapidly that to become certified for life in any subject area is somewhat ridiculous. So we were one of the last holdouts that said if you got certified in CompTIA's A+ in May of 1993 when it came out, you were certified for life. And you were so smart back then that you knew USB 3 was coming down the pike, and you knew that those serial cables were going to go, were always going to be used forever. It didn't really happen, did it? So now, because of the ISO certification on these 4 exams, we are required, if we want to maintain that status, to update those exams no longer than every 36 months. So within a 3-year period, you will see them revised. And I'll give you an example of A+. A+ is coming out this year in 2012. We released our last update in August of 2009. We'll have another update probably about that same time period, around 3rd quarter of this year. And Security Plus just revved last year, 2011. Network Plus is also in the process of revision. Oh, one of the requirements, and many of you were in for Dan Callahan's presentation. He talked about some of the DoD requirements. ISO certification was really driven by our relationship with the Department of Defense here in the United States. They are one of our largest customers because as part of the 8570 directive, they use those first 3 CompTIA certifications that you see here, and we needed to get ISO certified in part to comply with some of their requirements. So it's been a good relationship. Yeah, Casey.
I'm not familiar with CSP. Can you talk a little bit about
I will. Yeah, I'm going to come to a slide on that. So here are some of the things that are new in our world. A+ I mentioned is going to come out 3rd quarter of this year. This test will be one of our exams in this year that will be released with performance-based items. The current test, the 2009 exam that is out now, it's two tests to become certified, CompTIA A+ Essentials, CompTIA A+ Practical Applications. Both of those exams will retire on December 31. Now, I put textbook alert here in red because for those of you who are planning to teach the course in the fall of 2012, you want to plan accordingly because in order for a student or a person to be certified, they have to take both of their exams from the same exam series. So you don't want to offer a 2009 test this fall in your Essentials course and then offer a Practical Applications test in 2013 after the first one retires at the end of this year, because we can't mix the series. That person will not be certified. They'll have to take both tests from the same series. So the textbook publishers are already familiar with this. They're planning accordingly. So many of you in colleges don't have to worry about book orders too much, but I know right about this time is the time your bookstore managers are hounding you, as mine used to do me when I was in the college arena. So start looking for your favorite textbook publishers and checking to see what they have available for the 2012 exam that will be available this fall.
the exams available in the fall?
Yeah, third quarter. It'll come out in Q3. And the publishers will have the objectives. Our objectives will be published on our website, so what's going to be covered on the exam will be pretty much widely available in the next month or so. Security Plus. We've talked a lot about cybersecurity at this event, and we launched our Security Plus revision in May of this past year. And some of the new things that you're seeing on the Security Plus exam deal with cloud computing. Excuse me. Also, some more information and questions on forensic procedures, and as part of the whole incident response scenarios that you'll get into. So Security Plus is new. You want to look for a Security Plus book that has the SY0-301 designation, which is the test number. The JK0 number, by the way, is when you're ordering the academic priced exams. I know only 3 or 4 schools or individuals raised their hands and said your schools were members. Security Plus is over $260, I think, per exam. If you're an academic member, it's $175, and that's what the JK0 is. That's the pricing code for the academic priced exam. So if you want to save your students a little money, you can sign up for the free membership. The academic priced exams are available to you. The old Security Plus, if you happen to have an older book, retired December 31, just in the last week, and no longer available. Network Plus. New exam is launched Q4 of last year, so just came out. This is one of the exams that I don't want to get people confused, but I just told you about the academic part numbers. We're phasing those out this year because we're doing some things a little differently. We're going to start making our tests available in a different way through our academic marketplace at the CompTIA website. For those of you that offer exams now, you have to order them from either Prometric or Pearson VUE. We're going to start also offering them through our website. And once things get through a pilot phase that we're working on now, you'll be able to order the exams and include them in your course materials if you want to do that. Many schools do that now. Or you'll be able to simply direct your students to our website, giving them a special promotional code, and they'll be able to buy the exams at the academic price without you having to go through the purchase process and act as a middleman. A lot of bookstores do that. A lot of individual professors do that. But we're going to be giving you some options now to let your students purchase directly. And we hope that you'll see that by the time that the exam purchase season rolls around at the end of this year. We're actually doing some pilots here in the next couple of months. Network Plus has changed in a couple ways. That we've given more weight to cybersecurity questions. So just slightly under 20% of the exam includes some things on network security. Virtual networking is included for the first time in this release, and we are now starting to include, by popular demand, a recommended hardware and software list of items that you may want to use to help you plan for your classroom specifications. The current exam that's out now, so we always run our exams in parallel. We keep our old exam alive for a few months after the new one comes out. It'll retire sometime this summer. I don't recall if it's end of July or end of August, probably the end of August. That gives us an opportunity for you to test students who were in your courses this year and are studying from the older book. Yes, sir.
How much overlap is there between the Network Plus component of security and the Security Plus exam?
I would not be able to say right now without pulling the objectives out and reviewing them with you. I don't know that anybody's ever identified a particular percentage. Someone asked about the Advanced Security Practitioner. This is an exam that we've been developing we've been talking about it for at least a couple of years. It finally was released this past fall. But it is, at one time it was Security Plus version 2 or level 2. It's gone through a couple different names that never came to fruition. But this is a test, as you see, it's really aimed at somebody who's going to be the security lead in an enterprise, somebody with probably 8 to 10 years experience in an IT profession, and probably 5 of those in enterprise security. Now, having said that, Oh, this, by the way, also includes performance-based questions. So our first exam that was released. This has been kind of a quiet release because there's not a lot of content available through some of the textbook publishers. A lot of them didn't ramp up books quite at the time that we released the exam. So we went ahead and released the exam. Maybe some of you took the beta exam, but it came out, I think the beta came out in the late summer. The test was released in September, mid-September time frame, but it's kind of a quiet release. It's available, and it is, as it says here, it was designed with the Department of Defense needs in mind to help address some of the skills that were not covered on Security Plus that were part of the directives through the DoD. This test, I've got a price list coming up here in a moment. You'll see the price of the test, but it does have an academic test. There are some that feel that this is not widely suited for academic use, but I will leave that to your discretion. We've had a lot of people in the academic community that took the beta exam. In fact, one of my close friends that worked at another campus of the college where I worked has taken the exam and plans to teach a course. He feels like his Security Plus students are more than qualified with some of the simulations and experiences they've had in class to do this. So what I'd like to do, if any of you are making a decision to teach this or pilot this in some way, I'd love to get your feedback on it and let me know how you feel it works in an academic environment. Yes?
Can you talk about how the performance portion of the exam is handled at the kind of the ways in which you measure?
You know, I've not seen it, and Dan, you may recall this from some of our conversations. About 15 to 20% of the questions are performance. I've not seen them. Because we don't get to see and play with our test products unless we actually take one. But CompTIA is very loose lips, sink ships kind of orientation. So, we practice what we preach in security. We don't leak our products out to our salespeople or business development managers or anybody else. So, I have not taken it, and I've only talked to a few people that have, and the people I've talked to have passed it. So.
It's still the traditional channels for delivery,
Chrometric and Pearson VUE, exactly.
They're really handling that piece.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good question. What's also new? So we've talked about exams that are currently in the field. Here's some exams. The next section will be on things that are almost brand new or up and coming. Health information technology. So many of you have probably talked to your colleagues and peers in your school about electronic health records. Dan mentioned that health records are going to be moved into the cloud as part of a federal mandate. There's going to be a lot of demand for workers who have the skills necessary to implement those kinds of changes with hospitals, doctor offices, clinics, from small one-person general practitioners to mega hospital organizations that go across the country. We designed this credential for the community college market in particular based on some information from the National Coordinator for the High Tech Act. And for anybody who wants it, everybody should have one of my business cards. If you don't, I'll give you one. If you have a question, I've got a nice white paper. It's 8 or 10 pages that we put together on this last year. And it describes really clearly the 6 roles in a health information technology from supervisory to a technician installer. So our health IT exam actually addresses a couple of those job roles pretty well. And it complements somebody who is A+ and/or A+ and Network Plus certified who could go in and work with physicians, work with medical practitioners, university, hospitals, those kinds of things to help manage their systems that will deal with electronic health records. I was in Los Angeles at the beginning of December, talking to a group at a LA Unified School District building, and quite a few people there were very interested in doing some adult education classes and community college classes and getting some of the courses on board. So if you have questions about that, feel free to contact me. And we have a couple people in the organization who worked in the development of the test and can speak to you about the test in more detail than I can, but I'd also be happy to send you the white paper and explain where our test maps to that white paper and those job roles. Yes, sir.
Is this for a medical assistant who would like to become, or is it for?
That's a great question. So this is for a technology person that needs to work in a health field organization. So could a person who's currently a medical practitioner come over and learn IT skills? Of course, but this is not what this test is designed for. It's really for an IT person that's going to go help implement systems and manage systems in a health environment. Okay? Thanks for the question. I've been stepping on them the whole time. Didn't you know that? By the way, we have this at a nice academic price for you. This is a $102 exam, but academic price for this is $60, so it's pretty affordable.
Alan, this health IT, how many units would that be if it could be a course?
Ooh. This is probably, I would say you would cover this in a semester or a semester a little bit less. Winter semester is about 4 months, so 16 weeks, 15 weeks.
Yeah.
That would be plenty of time. Absolutely.
Maybe like a 3-unit course, 2 units, 1 unit?
2 to 3 units I think would be sufficient. Good question. Here's one that I wanted to also mention, another exam that we're going to talk about. Now this one was just released in December, Cloud Essentials. This is a little bit of a different track for CompTIA. This is not a highly technical exam. This is an exam that provides an overview of cloud technologies for a non-technical individual. So, how often do you go to seminars or you talk to people in your organization or you watch T-Mobile commercials or whatever you see? And it's my favorite one where the kid talks about having access to the almighty cloud. Well, what is the almighty cloud? What is that exactly? Well, this particular course and test will help you understand and gain some skills and knowledge about that. It is not for a technician. You're not going to go in and learn how to manage servers and put together your own cloud, but it's going to help an executive or managerial level person understand what it is and why they should implement or why they shouldn't implement one within their own organization. This is available now. It's kind of, I would say it's more on a workshop style type of training. You could do this in 2 to 3 days, and we've partnered with another company to put this together, and the way they're currently foreseeing the delivery of this is they would offer the training for 2.5 days, and then in the last half day, just offer the test immediately thereafter in your classroom. So it's a little bit different testing model for us, something we're trying out for the first time. And then some other exams. The last one I want to mention is an exam called Storage Plus. And we've been developing this in cooperation with the Storage Network Industry Association. As of earlier this week, we have not determined the final pricing on this, and I don't have the objectives available for you to look at, but just know that in 2012 this is coming out, and it will deal with all aspects of storage from a vendor-neutral perspective. So more information on this will be forthcoming on our website, and I'll show you a website where you can go to find out greater information here in just a moment. Here's some, I've got 2 pages here to show pricing. I think you got to give that one a double exposure there with your camera. These are the academic prices, by the way, and I meant to include the retail prices of these exams, but I'll just kind of mention them. A+, we just had a slight price increase, so if you're familiar with seeing $80 there, on January 1 that became $82. Project Plus, Network Plus did not change, nor did Security Plus. Those exam prices are the same. Strata, I haven't talked much about Strata this morning. Strata is our level below A+, and it's below A+ in the sense that it still covers IT fundamentals, but it does it from a knowledge basis versus a skills basis. So it's sort of, what is a hard drive, how does it work, what's it for, versus how do I diagnose problems, how do I change one, what are the different types of hard drives. So you wouldn't want to give, a Strata test is not something that you're going to use for your technicians, but for someone who's thinking about going into an IT field, Strata is a pretty good test to help assess their skills and aptitude. We also have 2 other flavors of Strata. We have Strata Green IT, which I just listed the title generically here. So the Green IT exam is also $60. And then if you work with people in your organizations, or you have customers or clients that work in sales roles that need information about technology, but they don't need to be technologists, we have a Strata IT professional for salespeople. So it gives them just enough knowledge to work in their chosen field of sales without becoming technology experts. But those tests went up from $59 to $60. That was the only academic price increase we had, was in the Strata line and the A+. Yes.
The health IT tech, does it lead to the HIPAA certification?
There is the HIPAA certification, and I've got some feedback. I'll be happy if you want to contact me later today, or I'll share an email with you where we've got some schools in a consortium that feel that that certification is not doing what they need to do for their training, so they're feeling like this one's maybe a little better. But it does map. There are some objectives that are common. There's not 100% mapping, though. Yes, sir.
Is there any recommended feedback for that outbreak?
Since it is going to be a technical role, someone who has technical skills, which you as a person that is teaching would be able to assess students, or if you knew they were already A+ certified or Microsoft certified in some of their hardware and software, or networking certified in some way, those would be good things to look for. Okay, it's a great question. Thank you. Here's the rest of our CompTIA line available. These are, again, the academic prices available to our academic partners. So the server and PDI exams would be up around $297 at retail. The Linux Plus is also up there. It's like around $269, $270, something like that. CTP, Convergence Technologies, that's up above $270 also. These two tests are CTP, as I mentioned before. There's two versions. There's a computer-based version that you have to take, and then there's a video assessment that has to be sent in and scored. So if you've got somebody who want to take the CTP, they do have to take both of those exams, but they are separately priced, which is why I've listed them separately. Cloud Essentials is brand new. It's for $130, and then CASP, which is over a $300 test at retail, is $237 in the academic market. And I'm very anxious for somebody to deliver a class there and give me some feedback on that. Just pop those prices back up for another second.
Where's the HTI?
HTI is no longer available. What's this guy doing here? Well, this was our Academy webpage. I don't know. Somebody turned off the lights. So there's a lot more white space on the webpage, but so this URL, I don't know why it's not.
Can you just go to it?
Yeah, it's not real critical. This URL is, and I'll show you this on another page. It's www.comptia.org/academy. This is our landing page. If you're interested in joining, this is the page you should go to. It has a PDF of our program guide, 8 pages. It's a quick read, shows our prices. Now, as of yesterday, the new program guide for 2012 has not yet been uploaded. We all were taking a nap over the Christmas holiday, so sorry about that. Nobody got that uploaded. But the new one will be up there very soon. It'll have the updated price list. But you can look at the program guide. There's a little short 10-minute introductory webinar. So I guess really the important pieces are there. Yeah. We believe in uncluttered, brief web pages.
That must be worth it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's somebody that's there right now doing that. Not bad. It better be. There's also a link that says Apply Online Now. Now, this application process, we used to have you send in stuff by fax or mail. The application process is much better. It's all online. It will take you, depending on the speed that you type and how much you know about your address and phone number, 5 to 10 minutes. So it's got 4 sections. It's got information about you, who the primary contact is. If you've got a different financial contact in your organization, So you're the teaching contact, if somebody else is going to actually do the ordering, you can list them separately. You can list the books or the curriculum materials you're using. There is a section for those of you that have colleagues teaching other CompTIA courses. It's very important. We have a place now where I mentioned about our benefits of complimentary vouchers. If you want to take advantage of those, you have to list the teachers that are in your program or that are teaching those programs on this application form. And if you don't have a chance to do it then, you can also always go back and update it later on the partner portal. But the request form for complimentary exam vouchers is now all online. No more faxing stuff to Alan, no more faxing stuff to Brian, no more getting lost in CompTIA voicemail. Just real easy process. So someday you'll have a chance to take a look at that. And for those of you that are currently members and haven't decided to transition yet, as I mentioned, on December 31, all of the E2C membership categories expired, so you're out of membership status. So if you tried to order a test voucher today from Prometric or Pearson VUE, they would say you're not qualified. But again, the renewal process is just as easy as the application process because your information is already in our database. So it's actually a little faster. You just need to go through and verify everything's still accurate and click a few buttons and say submit, and you'll have your application. I will tell you this, and since we've been talking about security and spam and all this other stuff, for whatever reason, our welcome aboard emails, they're HTML formatted, unfortunately, they are getting hung up about 80% of the time in people's junk mail and spam mail filters. So we process these within 2 business days. So if you apply today, you should hear from us either Monday or Tuesday at the latest. If you don't, please check your junk mail filter and you'll find a welcome aboard message in there. Chances are, if not, my phone number's up here, you've got my card, call me directly and we'll make sure that gets to you. There's just some pretty stringent filters we know. Here's some of the websites that actually work. CompTIA.org is our main site. Don't spend a whole lot of time there. It's just got directions to all the other places. Anytime you want to know exam information, this site links to this site, but if you want to just learn about one of the exams, just go to certification.comptia.org, click on the button on the top left corner of the screen. It'll give you a drop-down for all of our tests. You'll also see news there about new exams that are in the pipeline. So that is the single source for information about. It tells you how much they cost. It tells you where you can take them. It has some practice questions. You can download the objectives. That's a great place to start. And then this page that we couldn't see a moment ago, that's the Academy landing page. Once you get signed up, you'll never need to go back there. But that's the place you go to get signed up. Or if you just want a quick copy of the program guide to review, it's got a nice link right there. I'm just getting the 10-minute hook, and I'm done. There's my contact information. My colleague is Brian Matzell. He's our education sales manager based in Chicago. We answer our own phones, so don't call our general number. Call my number, call his number, and we'll make sure we help you out. We pride ourselves in customer service and taking care of our academic customers, so please let us know what we can do for you. Yes?
I'm going to ask you some general questions and sort of devil advocate questions. How many colleges in California, community colleges in California, use CompTIA?
I would have been better prepared for that question had you asked me 2 days ago, and I could have gotten the list. I'll give you this answer. We had, as part of the Academy process, this new application, whether you're renewing or new member, you have to re-enroll. And that's so we can update it.
Point of view of a broad perspective, I think information matters.
Yeah, we have just right under 1,000 members in the U.S. In California, we know we have 114, 119 community colleges. At one time, we had well over 60 of those that were purchasing. California has been consistently our 3rd or 4th largest consumer of CompTIA certifications, to the tune of several thousand per year. But I can give you a better report on that if you need the information. I'll be happy to.
I just want to say some new college that wants to teach for IT programs. Do you have information on what equipment they need to teach these courses and how much that costs?
We do. Okay. Well, I'll put it this way: we work with our publishing partners. So if you were going to choose the curriculum from this company, that would be one set of materials.
I'm not talking about hardware.
Well, the curriculum will sometimes dictate what hardware you need.
You don't have a say if I want to teach, A++, or A+, you're going to need this equipment in your class to do it. If I'm going to teach networking, you're going to need this equipment. How much number of students you have. Is that kind of information available somewhere?
Not specifically.
That's what keeps a lot of people from starting these programs that I talked to. It's unknown with limited funding what's going to cost for them to be able to do this.
Yeah, and that's really why we want people to contact us, because we have resources with our publishing partners who, again, they have those types of lists. We don't ever put costs associated with things because those change too rapidly. But we have, for example, on my hard drive, I have a A+ equipment list. It's A to Z, anything you need, but would every school want everything on that list? No. So we do have some of those resources, but it's not something we publish on the website because it's not one size fits all. An ROP program here might have something much smaller than a college that's offering 4 sections per semester.
A lot of small colleges don't even offer longer one section. So
yeah, but if you want to get in touch, we'll definitely help you out. And one of the things that we like to do is we like to put you in touch with what we call our mentor colleges. We've got some people that have been doing this for a long time, and they are, since I've been out of the training field in the college for 9 years, I try to keep myself up to speed, but some of my former colleagues and your current colleagues are much better suited to give you that information than I would be. So we're happy to help you and make those connections. Other questions? Oh. My key card guy.